What is going on, guys? So today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about Making Sense. Now, Making Sense is a clone house, inspiration house, and he has some old originals as well. But he has a huge selection. He does a really good job at making a pinpoint inspiration of whatever fragrance you're looking for. He's open to hybrids, open to tri hybrids. I've seen him go as far, almost as far as even four. This guy is quick, he's expedient, very versatile so far as the selection that he has, and he's very receptive to feedback and things like that. Overall, just a great guy. My collection, or you know, my humble collection that I have so far with him, these right here, I love these bottles. Love these. I love the size on these. So these are all 17 ml bottles. And these, I've said before, are somewhat of a sample size, but you're able to, feel like these are full size bottles. 17 ml, it's a fairly small size. Um, but when you're buying a lot of fragrances, you may not want, a bunch of 30 mls. You may not want a bunch of 100 ml bottles, 3.4 ounce bottles in your collection, because you know that you're not going to wear them. You're not going to be able to get to them all. With these, I know that I can have a great selection of inspirations of hybrids and different things, some test fragrances, and it's enough where I can get a great amount of wears out of it. But it's also small enough where if I don't necessarily care for it, I don't have to pitch it. I can possibly sell it, or I can just possibly tough it out and just wear it and go ahead and use it up. It's small enough where this is cost efficient, but at the same time, I don't mind having an array of these and a few rows of these in my collection, and it looks nice. He's been working on his graphics and getting some really good graphics going with his fragrances as well. This here is one of his graphics. This is for the Nishane Ani, and this one is called Amnesia. Really nice graphic, kind of has like this light bulb sort of fading in the background, I guess to showcase a little bit of forgetfulness or memory maybe fading. 17 ml Eau de Parfum or Extrait de Parfum. Really nice bottles. This one here is a hybrid. This is Heavenly Swim. So I want to say this is Angel Share and Afternoon Swim by Louis Vuitton. Beautiful, beautiful hybrid. Also, he was labeled it special edition, NappsandNurture special edition. So I was definitely hyped about that. This one right here is titled Apple Splash. This is Apple Brandy and Afternoon Swim. I was wanting to utilize Afternoon Swim because of the relentless citrus note that it has. I've used this one quite a bit as well, and how it just cuts through. So I was finding different fragrances that I could cut through with utilizing that Afternoon Swim, and I may have to think of some more as well. This one here is my most recent pickup from him, and this is Agar Sweet King. This is a tri-hybrid. If you can see the colors on this, it represents some of the fragrances. The red at the top represents Baccarat Rouge 540. The gold that's hanging kind of diagonal under the title is representing Oud for Greatness. And the black and silver sash that's in the background represents Creed Aventus, the 13ZZ batch. Does a nice job with his graphics and his presentation. And to me, in my honest opinion, when you got a clone house, an inspiration house, where you have a huge array of fragrances, having a graphic that you can associate to a fragrance so that you don't get really lost on the names is key. I think that's genius. Dual Fragrances know what they were doing when they did that as well. And seeing him implement some of those same elements and still making it his own is excellent. Now, when you go on their website, so you type in Making Sense. So here we are at their new releases. And Everything is just seamless. You can see the fragrances, the graphic that's associated with it. Let's click it and see what's going on. He gives a well outlined, description of that fragrance. This one right here is Lost King 13ZZ01 batch, and this is a combination, his remixed interpretation of a blend between Creed Aventus and Tom Ford Lost Cherry, which is a beautiful layer anyway. This is a fruity almond leather sweet fragrance. That's a classification. And he has the top notes, mid notes, and the base, all outlined. And here, now it may not show you my drop down, but on the drop down here, you have a 17 ml sealed bottle. Click that. That's priced at 20. You have a 30 ml that is priced at 30. You have a 50 ml that is priced at 45, and 100 ml, which is sold out at the moment. But I want to say that one's priced at maybe 60. Let's go into all products and see just see the selection. You know what I mean? The selection is vast. It is huge. Some of the companies that he has that he's and using inspirations of: Anicio, Kilian, Le Labo, Louis Vuitton, MFK, Maison Margiela, Memo, Nautica, Nishane, Paco Rabanne, Parfum de Marly. I mean, he uses and works with a lot of the very popular and mainstream, as well as the niche designers, and he works and does work and inspiration on all those. The price point on those aren't bad at all. Being able to pick this up for $20, I can get creative and ask them for a hybrid or request a hybrid if it's able to be done for a little to nothing. $20 for a 17 ml, that's not bad at all, yo. Sometimes, like, depending on what inspiration house you rock with, it could be a lot more. This particular inspiration here of Truffle is a 30 ml, and I'm paying, I want to say roughly around maybe 40, maybe $45 for this, after taxes and shipping and all that stuff is included. For 17 ml, and I have the freedoms to have a much wider selection. I have the freedoms to try to incorporate some hybrids and things like that into the mix, and being able to pick it up for maybe $20, and in my case like 26 after shipping and everything is included. That's not bad. Great customer service, fast shipping, a fast response time, a huge selection, a seamless website, some really nice graphics, and most importantly, a great scent. His fragrances, like I said, tend to be pinpoint with their interpretations. I like the fact that they tend to last pretty well on my skin. One thing I will say is, starting off when I was checking out his company, I was noticing some of the ingredients that he was using were a little loud. The alcohol that he was using early on, like last year in 2020, or some of his fragrances, was a little loud. I reached out to him and I let him know that there's a fragrance that I end up picking up from him. The fragrance that I ended up picking up from him last year was Dia. Dia is Xerjoff Noxos. This is the 50 ml, beautiful bottle, especially in comparison to the 17 ml. And I picked this thing up, and I liked the way it smelled, but the alcohol that was in it was off-putting, and it was making the scent, where I couldn't enjoy it. I mentioned it to him. He was telling me to allow it to sit, macerate, and mature a little bit more. And a few months went past, and it did mature, it did macerate a little bit more. Sitting here over almost, I'll say about a year later, I don't get any of that alcohol. I'm gonna try it again and see how it smells. Really nice spray on that as well. Beautiful atomizer. I love the black atomizer in comparison to the gold and silver ones. Cap holds pretty well. Very nice color juice on there. Straight to the point with the graphic. I don't know if he has a different graphic for Dia. I might see if we can come up with one. But I don't get any of that alcohol blast. It was almost ruining the way that this smelled. Now it's gone, and I get that Noxos vibe. And his is a little brighter, a little smoother, a little more creamier, if I can say that. Everything comes together, meshes together well, and create this one, one scent, like on one unison sort of a scent. And it's super nice, super enjoyable. And I'm definitely going to get into wearing that one. Definitely getting into wearing that one a lot more. As I said, man, the website is seamless. Being able to navigate everything. Price point is excellent. Fragrance is excellent. And like I said, if you have any issues, he's very receptive to listening to his customers, listening to the base of his customers, and open to suggestions and things like that. He's always looking to improve. He has his own YouTube channel. I'll try to search and grab the link for it so you guys can check it out as well. But yeah, making sense, man. They got a lot of good things going for themselves, and I look forward to coming up with some more great ideas and seeing what I can come up with and see if I can challenge him a little bit. I'll drop the link in the description where you can check out his website and see if anything suits your fancy, see if anything catches your eye. I'm pretty sure out of all the things that he has going on, something will catch your eye. Also, I want to point out real quick, right here on his website, you will see something called Franken batch. This is a 1021 batch. We'll click it, and on the website it states that this is a mix of every oil I've used from 621 until 1021 that has created a once in a lifetime mix of oils to create this limited, never to be recreated release. It is a nice complex fragrance that somehow came out to be very appealing in my opinion. One big difference from the previous Franken batch is that this one has a cannabis note that comes through even with very little of that specific oil getting added to the mix. I don't want to influence your take on this fragrance, so if you would like to add it to your collection, the time is now. Once this is gone, it is gone for good. A 40+% fragrance oil and some other elements to make it perform. And it is priced same way. Something as unique as this priced in the same way. $20 for the 17 ml, $30 for the 30, $45 for the 50, and for the 100, $70. That isn't bad. Being able to purchase 100 ml, to me the 50 is enough. This is a perfect size. This is giving me Byredo vibes. I love this size right here. I don't need anything that much bigger, unless it's just like I need it like that. One fragrance that I would honestly say that I would probably use that much of is this one. Look at how dead that is. This is the King Maximus. This is the Creed Aventus 13ZZ. I like that one. I'm always mixing and layering it. I'll put it on just to be putting on some when I'm in the studio. So maybe that one. And I thought that I would be using Noxos like that. I'm gonna be getting into it more now that I'm really coming around to how it's picking up and how it's smelling. But you know, 100 ml for $70 for something that's gonna perform. It's gonna save you a ton of money from these originals. You spending $100 on, getting 100 ml of Creed Aventus or something like that, or something close around that size, you're going to be coming off a lot. If you're skeptical about buying from Facebook groups, buying from your peers in the fragrance community, and you only want to go to the bona fide source, heading to the Creed boutique online or in person, you're coming off of, I want to say, at least for the very smallest size, $350. And I could be off, it could be more. but I want to say it's about 350, maybe even 450 for the absolute smallest size. And after a while, that just gets old. Nothing against those companies, but when you can get a company that can give you a 50 ml, 100 ml, and it's extremely comparable, and the price point is completely drastic, the customer service is on point, you have the freedom to go in and create a unique hybrid that you will never be able to create with the real companies. There's a sense of creativity and a little bit of freedom that companies like this offer, and I love it. I love having that freedom and this having that sense of creativity, and it makes fragrance fun again. Because let's be honest, it's some stuff out here that just makes fragrances not fun. I watched a video recently of ATH Aaron Terrence Hughes, and he did a review on Black Orchid, and it was a Lalique edition, like some special edition. It was a 15 ml, so it's smaller than this here, and it was priced at $800. And I just thought that was ridiculous. I'm all for support the artists and support the original creators, but at some point, in your life, you gotta start looking at yourself in the mirror, and you gotta hold that bottle up, and you gotta be like, yeah, was I stupid? Did I do something stupid just now? Sometimes you gotta ask yourself that, because we get wrapped up in these fragrances, and the price points go up, the performance goes down, the batches change, the formulations switch up on us. It's so many varying things when it comes to the fragrance, but the one thing that doesn't really vary a whole lot, or doesn't really go down that much, be that price point. And some point we gotta start asking, like, all right, did I do something stupid? Did I get got? Did they get me? We gotta start asking ourselves that sometimes. Having a company like this, it makes me feel safe. I feel like I'm able to go in, get a great fragrance. I'm able to sample in a much bigger way. This is basically, if I wanted to go and cop that Noxos, the real bottle, this is a 50 ml sample. I'm able to really sit, enjoy. I'm able to wear this without reserve, because when you get those bottles, if you really like it, but you spent that big amount for it, you're going to be a little more reserved as to how often you wear it, because you're going to have to come off that full price tag again if you run out of that bottle. With this, me paying $45, I can wear this every day confidently and really get a good understanding of if I'm gonna like the DNA. If the DNA on this one is something that I could like, I know that I should be able to like the real one. You know, so it gives me a great understanding of, do I want to pull that trigger on that real fragrance? And it's just, this is a 50 ml sample, giving you the ability to really get some good wearing in with no reserve. And even if you don't want to pay that much, you got yourself a 17 ml here, bona fide sample, get you a good amount of wearings and sprays out of this. You'll be spraying for a while. You have to really just turn it up, turn that volume up, in order to run out of this quickly, to where you really don't think it sufficed and gave you the understanding of wearing it and how it's going to perform on you. You know, you're going to be able to get a good understanding of that fragrance and what that DNA may possibly look like, feel like, and whether or not you'll agree with it. I definitely urge you guys to go and check out Making Sense. He does some excellent work, point blank period, and I don't think you guys will be disappointed. That is it for this video, you guys. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will catch you guys soon. Peace. Oh, and don't forget, there is a promo code that I have for you guys. Right now, when you go to his website, and if you were to pick up 2 or more fragrances, you type in the code King Nappy 10. That's right, King Nappy 10, KINGNAPPY 10. You will be able to pick up an additional, or be able to knock off 10% of that price of whatever it is you're picking up. 2 or more bottles, and you can take off 10% using my code KingNappy10. All right, now I'm out of here. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys soon. Peace.